Happy holidays, YouTube. Mad Witch here. I want to actually talk about uh, the holidays as it is right now. As you notice, I am wearing a Santa Claus hat with its dingly ball thingy. Sick. I hope my cat doesn't run after me now. The little bastard sneaks around everywhere, tries to trip me up. Anyway, Christmas. Christmas is coming up. Today is the 24th, or the 21st of December. And so, as a pagan to those in the Western Hemisphere, happy solstice. I hope you guys are enjoying it. For those of us in the Western Hemisphere, the solstice will be tomorrow, I believe at 4, somewhere time around 4, depending on what timeline you're at. I'm in Central, so therefore I'm 4. It's like 4:38 or something like that. It's a really weird time. To everyone else, I know it's a little early, but Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Fortnite, whatever. Um, but yeah, the origins of Christmas. Christmas in and of itself, um, isn't completely and totally Christian. Now, granted, Chris Christmas broken down as Christ's Mass or Mass of Christ. Um, but celebrating Christians celebrate Christmas as the birth of Jesus Christ, which I'm not disputing the fact that Jesus Christ exists or did not existed. Me and my personal belief, I believe he did exist, that he was a man, he was a wise man. Uh, he had a way of life that he believed everyone should follow. People are following it. That's my belief. That's how religions start, plain and simple. So, in order for a religion to start, somebody had to start it. Jesus Christ is the person who started it, therefore, he existed in a story. But as for his birth, even according to the Bible, historians, astrologers, and scholars have all delved deep and spent many, 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 many years on the subject of the birth of Christ. And they come to the conclusion that Jesus Christ was born around like August or September. So that's a 2 month period to where nobody knows the exact date, and that's impossible because there is no exact date in the Bible itself of when he was born. As a matter of fact, there's no exact dates of when anyone was born. I wish that the founders of Judaism and Christianity and Islam actually had dates for all of this. It would make it a lot easier for everyone to know exactly what's going on. Uh, the I feel that the Christmas, instead of being uh, a holiday to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, should actually be celebrated for the Last Supper. I mean, because a mass. It was Jesus and his followers having the last meal, everything else. So I was thinking maybe that should have been, but uh, the exact time of when the Last Supper took place is still unknown. So I'm just a suggestion. I mean, it's a mass. It's a mass. People get together for a mass, and food is normally dished out. But the origins of Christmas, I mean, none of the symbology none of the traditions for Christmas is actually Christian itself. It is in fact pagan. More specifically, Northern European pagan. For the whole bringing in uh, balsam or fern or evergreen or pine tree or whatever. That's pretty much the North European traditions for that. Um, but there are, there are the European pagans celebrated it in different ways, and uh, the main way was to bring in a branch of evergreen. Uh, it was the pagans' belief that this preserved the life essence and force of the sun. And during this time, sorry I'm off camera, I'm putting my chair up. During this time, uh, the sun god is, I guess you could say, born again. So, in essence, this portion of the birth of Christ could be seen being around this time if you're doing the rebirth of a sun deity. So, I mean, there's a lot of murals and stained glass windows and uh, pictures, especially within the Catholic Church, where Jesus is portrayed having a halo, and the is normally portrayed as a sun. So, in this case, it's very very plausible. So, and that's why I'm not getting down on Christians celebrating Christian or Christmas. Um, but the way that they are following it is uh, kind of strange to me, seeing that they even practice pagan symbology throughout the Christmas season. Um, the pagans themselves would actually, the whole Christmas tree, decorating an evergreen was pagan as well. Presents underneath the evergreen, pagan as well. The pagans would actually go outside and decorate um, a chosen pine tree, and they would put offerings underneath the tree. And this was actually really um, uh, empathic magic to coax, I guess you can say, the sun god to be born again. Kind of like how in modern medicine, with a woman giving birth, uh, sometimes the doctor would force the water to break, so the baby would come out quicker. My daughter was actually born in an hour and a half, which really surprised me because uh, my little sister took about 8 hours, and my little brother was about 12. And I think my mom said I was 12 to 14 hours myself. So I mean that's a long time to be just sitting there. So in this way, I guess that's what it was. Um, Pagans also came together and uh, they performed a fertility ritual for the sun to come back. Uh, I can't say exactly what happened back then, but in today's day and age, there is no sex involved, unless if you get one of those really, really creepy, kooky kind of. Well, I'm not going to call them covens because they're not. They're cults. If if you're required to have sex for magic reasons, basically making a porno in front of everyone, then it's a cult, not a coven, and you should get the hell out of there. I'll actually be um, going further into that in another video. Um, Other symbologies, the mistletoe and things like that. Again, pagan. Um, the Santa's hat, in particular, the whole Santa Claus. Now, in Christian Catholic, since I'm getting a whole bunch of crap about this too, I guess I need to separate the Christians from the Catholics. I'm getting a lot of crap about that, so should not offend anyone. The Saint Nicholas, which Saint Nicholas was a saint in Catholic mythology, and he was basically a very generous person. So I guess that's where the tradition of gift giving came about, giving gifts to family and friends and loved ones or whatever. This necessarily wasn't the case for pagans. Pagans didn't, back then, they didn't give gifts to each other. They gave gifts or offerings to the god. And these offerings normally consisted of bread or meats or cheeses or milks or, whatever food products they so happened to have at the time. A lot of the times it was acorns as well that they found out throughout the woods or whatever. Now, the image of Santa Claus is actually coined from uh, the Celts, from the Irish and the Scottish, of the Holly King. Now, this is a lore in and of itself. The Holly King and the Oak King are brothers. Um, and they're if anybody practices the Celtic way, please correct me if I'm wrong in the comment sections below. Um, but the Holly King and the Oak King were seasonal spirits or uh, deities. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. That did battle during the solstice, the summer and the winter solstice. The summer solstice, when they did battle, the Holly King won and became lord of the what's known as the dark half of the year. While during the winter solstice, when they did battle, the Oak King won, and he became the ruler of the light side of the year. Now, just so I can elaborate and not freak anybody out, when I say dark side and light side of the year, I don't mean good and evil or bad and good. It's not that. It's that the the dark side of the year literally is darker. The sun doesn't show up as much, our days are shorter, nights are longer, so it's darker most of the time. That's why we call it the dark side of the year. Vice versa, after the winter solstice, the sun starts to gain its strength, it starts to become higher in the sky, it stays up longer, we have shorter nights, and we're allowed to get more things done, especially farmers. Uh, Even though most of their work just happens in the spring and the fall, but still, though, that's the whole point. Now, for this, and this is exactly where the whole red suit and big jolly ho 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 guy comes from, is the Holly King. The the image of Santa Claus is so similar to that of the Holly King, even down to the big sack. It's tea, just in case if anybody's wondering. Uh, but the sack wasn't filled with gifts for the good little boys and girls. It was filled with fertility symbols such as acorns and pine cones and mistletoe and all all sorts of fertility flora symbols that the pagans believe in. As for the reindeer, um, I don't know where that started. If anybody does know, leave me something in the comments below so I can study it. So therefore, I am no longer ignorant about it. Um, I do like to learn new things. So yeah. Uh, but if you want a quicker explanation, I suggest you watch Big Bang Theory, the Christmas episode. Oh, there's my kitty. Come on. Come on. I'm making a video. You want to be in the video? Come here. Come here. Come here, my kitty. This is Spirit. He's being a little punk right now. Look. Look, baby boy. Look, baby boy. Look at who is that? Who is that? This is my kitty. His name is Spirit. He's got a little goatee going on. Look at the little goatee. Okay, come on. I said, go on. He's being a punk. Kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty. You don't like the computer, do you? You don't like it. Okay. That's my kitty. You guys met my kitty. It's 1:30 in the morning, and I'm normally sitting here watching TV or playing video games, and he comes up and demands to be petted. He demands lovin's. Don't you, baby boy? Ho, 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 ho. But anyways, um, that's the origin of why we have all these symbolisms and traditions for Christmas. It was actually Christmas was actually made to integrate pagans into the Christian faith. Uh, and throughout history, it was actually outlawed and illegal, sometimes even punishable by death, to celebrate Christmas the way we do now. So bringing an evergreen was completely and totally illegal. Decorating, gift giving was illegal. It was strictly illegal to celebrate uh, a paganistic holiday, even under the name of Christmas. It was outlawed for about 50, 60 years here in the States. Not all over the States. It was just, this was way back, way back when, I want to say Salem. I want to. I mean, I just recently figured this one. I just recently figured out. Maybe about like 3, 4 days ago, that it was actually outlawed for a good period of time, and it was punishable by death because if you put an evergreen up in your house and decorated it and did all the Christmas stuff that we do now, you were considered a witch. And that's I'm glad it doesn't happen anymore, but just for a simple fact that it did happen makes me sad. So um I want to end this video by saying that from now on, when a pagan holiday does come up, one of the 8 Sabbaths comes up, I will be making a video of it explaining them. Uh, Traditionally now, Uh, the solstice is celebrated with a gathering. Normally, it's celebrated with a gathering of covens, not just one but multiple. I have actually seen and witnessed this. Many covens will actually come together, especially in larger areas. They would have uh, a time of ritual, and then afterwards they would have a big feast, which includes lots of food and most likely a lot of beer for of age people, obviously. If you do live in an area where it is not illegal to practice paganism, and uh, you do, and especially in bigger areas, this especially happens in bigger areas. Uh, Check your Facebook, check your Twitter, your Instagram, Snapchat, Google Plus, whatever you're using. Uh, I'm pretty sure that there are many, many covens out there that will gladly welcome you into their ritual space. Or if you want to do it yourself, make sure that you know, make sure that you get permits and make sure that everything's legalized. If you're doing it outside, if you're just doing it in your backyard, don't worry about it. But try to keep the noise level down. There is such thing as noise pollution, and you can get a fine for that. So, to everyone who's watching these videos, have a happy, safe holidays, and I wish you all the best. As always, blessed be. If I can just stop this video now. As always, blessed be.